Hello, guys, and welcome to my YouTube show, Ruben's History Show. Today, I'm going to talk about not Soviet Union this time again. So I'm going to talk about the history of the ancient Rome and the era of the Roman Kingdom, which came before the Roman Republic and the Roman Empire. So the history of the kingdom of Rome, the Roman Kingdom, lasted from 750, what was it, 753? Yeah, it was 753 BC, when the Romulus and Remus founded the city of Rome. So, and it lasted until 509 BC, when it was overthrown by Lucus Junius Brutus, who was a Roman general, and it lasted for almost 200 years, and it had over 7 kings during that period of time. So the government was an elective monarchy where they had kings. So the kingdom was being run by the kings, and the territory and the city of Rome was being ran by the king. And the religion in the kingdom of Rome, the Roman kingdom, was the Roman religion, or Roman paganism, which was a religion in Rome during that time. And its language was Old Latin, because Latin was one of was the official language of Rome during that time. And it started out as a small city during the Roman kingdom era. So, but then after the Roman kingdom dissolved, it became a superpower because it grew, and the city expanded to other places like Gaul, Egypt, and to Carthage, which would take place many thousand years later, many hundred or 1,000 years after Rome was a kingdom. So it had over 7 kings. It had over 7 kings. The Roman kingdom did, and it had the Tiber River, which was located in central Italy during that time. And they also had a senate. Well, so the Senate was a political institution in Rome from the time of the Roman kingdom all the way to the time of the Roman Empire. And they had a Senate in Rome. And that's how we have the Senate in the United States of America. Because all the political structures from Rome came to the United States. And that's how we have the Senate in the United States. So a lot of Rome's political structures a lot of United States political structures and in the United States government all came from ancient Greece and Rome during that time, when the United States became a country. And they didn't have consuls. They didn't have consuls during that time, because it was still the Roman Empire and the Roman kingdom during that time. And after the death of Romulus, it was Nabon Bobulus who was the second king of Rome. After the death of Romulus in 717 BC, and 717 BC, and Nabobulus became the second king of Rome after the death of Romulus, who I believe disappeared during a storm. From what I remember reading from a book, it was called The Captivating History of Rome, where they talked of the Roman Republic, which they talked about how the Roman Empire, how the Roman Republic started during that time. And I remember reading from the book, it said that Romulus disappeared during it was a thunderstorm in the city of Rome during that time. And so the second king was Nomulapobulus, who became the second king of Rome from 716 BC all the way to 1673 BC. And during his rule as king, he established many of Rome's most important religious and political institutions. During his rule, he established many of Rome's religious and political institutions in the Roman kingdom during most of his rule. And after Nomulapobulus was the king of Rome, it was Tullius Hostilius who became the third king of Rome. From 673 BC, 600 to 642 BC, he was the third king to take power following the death of Nomopopulus, who was the second king of Rome. And during his time as king, he defeated and destroyed Alba Longa, which was a small place in Italy before the Roman kingdom was established. And also the last king, the fourth king to take power and as king of Rome was Augustus Marcus, who was the king of Rome from 640 to 616 BC, who established the port of Osta and defeated the Sabians. There were these tribes that immigrated to Rome during that time. And after he was king of Rome, it was Tarquinius Priscus, who was the king of Rome from 616 to 579 BC, who expanded Rome's hegemon over Latium and doubled membership in the Senate to 600, drafted the Roman Forum, and constructed Coccus Maximum and the Circus Maximus during his rule. And after his rule as king, it was Servius Tullius, who was the king of Rome from 578 to 535 BC. And during his rule, he established the Savian tribes and the centuries, and built the temple of Diana, and a new wall around the city, instituted the Capitola. And also during his rule as the king of Rome, he wanted his two daughters, Tullia Minor and Tullia Minor. He wanted his two daughters to marry the Tarquin the Proud, who would later become the future king of Rome during that time. And they got married to Tarquin, who would be the last king of Rome during that time. And also between under the marriage of Tarquin the Proud and Tullia the Minor and Major, they started planning a plot to kill their father, Servius Tullius, who was the king of Rome from 578 to 535 BC. And they started coming up with a plan during that time, and he was in this building, I remember, Servius Tullius, who was the king of Rome. And so he pushed him down the stairs, I remember, from the building, and then Tarquin the Proud was riding a chariot. This is from the book I was reading. So he was riding a chariot, and he ran over the body of Servius Tullius, which killed him. Which killed Tullia the Minor and Tullia the Major's father. And then Tarquin the Proud became the last king of Rome, from 535 to 509 BC. And he conquered various Latin cities and established some colonies during his rule as king. And he built the temple of Jupiter Optimus Maximus and disposed and the Roman Republic was established when he was overthrown from power. He was overthrown from power by Marcus Junius Brutus, who overthrew the Roman kingdom, and that started a whole new history for Rome, which became the Roman Republic after the Roman kingdom was overthrown and it was dissolved. And there were some new changes to Rome during the time of the Roman Republic, which lasted from 509 BC all the way to 27 BC, when Augustus became the first emperor of Rome. And I'm going to talk about that in my next video. And in my next video, I'm going to talk about the history of Roman Republic and Julius Caesar and the other topics of the history of Rome during the Roman Republic. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned, and I'm going to upload more videos.